What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Movie Talks, the only podcast you need for your movie news, movie reviews, and more. We're on episode 81. A little bit early for Lawson. Lawson's building pergolas. He's a man of movies and
Mm,
construction. So you never know
Sure.
what's he's gonna be doing. But
Yeah, my energy isn't with it yet. I've been up for 10 minutes, so and I only got like 6 hours sleep.
whoa,
It's not terrible, but
yeah, right,
it's
6 hours.
I was up late.
What are we doing? Trying to reclaim the
Uh
night.
long story. I had to take one of Eb's friends. I offered to take one of Eb's friends into the city. That was
Ugh,
pretty late. Means I had dinner late, means I was watching a movie late, means yeah,
ugh,
it put my whole afternoon out. I
gross.
didn't finish Kung Fu Panda until midnight.
Yeah, right. I just finished it then. So
Yep.
we've got Ricky Stanicky, the newest comedy on Amazon Prime Video. We've got Kung Fu Panda 4, the fourth one in the franchise. He's swinging his arms near you. And then we've got Damsel, Netflix's newest one with Millie Bob Brown. So,
Yep.
yep. I can tell how excited you are. It's
Especially
funny.
for that one. Jesus Christ.
It's that was yeah, it's something. But what everyone's here for is to get their movie news from us each week. That's what we want. So we
Yep.
have obviously the Crow trailer, the Bill Scarsdale seeks a bloody vengeance in Gothic glory in the remake. Remakes are the thing at the moment. Like everyone is doing a remake of whatever franchise. Like, is
Yeah.
it is it they can't decide on like new ideas, or it's just like, nah, this is easy. We'll just remake it
I
and hope it
think it's
takes
a bit
off
of
again.
both. Like, IPs that have already been successful, they already know there's a successful story there. I think it's easy.
Right.
I
Yes.
don't know. It's
Yes.
also like you said, maybe it's a fear of what if things go wrong with. I think that's kind of both. You know,
Yep.
it's easy and it's almost guaranteed to. Well, not really. I don't fucking know. I'm still waking up. Continue.
We've got Star Wars Rogue Squadrons back in development. So it was originally like announced back in 2020 to be part of the big Star Wars like TV series. And now it's coming back. It got sort of like sidelined the whole
Oh, the
everything.
series, right? I
Mm,
heard Rogue Squadron. I was thinking of the game.
yeah. It's about the people that are flying
Yeah, yeah. I
pilots,
assumed.
yeah. Yep. But we've got Batman Part 2 is now pushed back to 2026. I hope they take the time
Oh
with it
right.
because the first one was good. I really liked it.
Yeah, I was like,
Hmm.
I had a really
Uh,
good review. I had a really good time.
yeah, your one of your favorite actresses, Jennifer
Hmm.
Lopez, must hunt down a a renegade robot in the Atlas teaser trailer. It's out now. So she goes
God,
from the mother, this is me, to Terminator, hunting down a robot.
shit.
So who knows?
Oh, she's so ridiculous.
She's
She just
trying.
disappeared. Like no one cared about her. No one mentioned her name for fucking years, and all of a sudden she's trying to come back and do movies, and
She's
it's
trying.
worse than ever.
She's trying.
Yeah.
Leave her
Is she?
alone.
If this is her trying, there's problems.
Whoa, whoa.
But
We've
she was
got
horrible in the mother.
no. Well, you got to start somewhere. You can't start at the top, mate.
Start somewhere.
Yeah,
She's been in this job for how many years? She's been an actor in I don't know what her first movie was. Fucking like 30 years at this point, 20 years.
yep.
Isn't this is not her starting somewhere.
Yeah, well, so someone's keep giving her the green light.
Ridiculous.
We got the vampire horror Abigail is very R-rated, says Tyler Gillett. We want
Okay.
the blood to stick to you. So it's about time we got some like actual movies that push into that genre. Not that genre, but that like rating. So
Oh,
everyone like
definitely. I
everyone
think
just
everything
wants
being safe.
MA and all the
Yeah.
silhouettes. Oh, I hate silhouettes when they cut away. It annoys me.
Hmm.
Which
That's
is
why think like June Part Two is also one of the reasons it's fantastic is that it doesn't shy away from being gritty and whatever. Like it's not trying to be a family movie like all the fucking Star Wars and Marvel and everything.
yeah, kind of like Venom, because Venom 3 official title is called Venom: The Last Dance. So like I didn't mind the Venoms, but again, it was hindered because it wasn't in that R category, and they were like, let's keep it in the MMA so that
Hmm.
people, all families, can see it.
Exactly.
It's just so annoying. Yep. And we've got
Yep.
Scream. Neve Campbell is returning for the next film.
Hmm.
Mm. So
Yeah, I think we discussed that a few weeks ago. So
she
it
was in,
Scream 7.
yeah, she was in talks, but now it's
All right,
official.
now it's confirmed. Okay.
Yep. And then we've got Civil War, which is a big new one that is coming. The new trailer's out. It's
Civil War.
a revolutionary new camera to bring a human view to his war drama. So he's trying to push the envelope. I feel like it would probably not be as good.
It's called Civil War.
Civil War, yeah. So it looks like one of those someone comes in, invades, and then a rebel group is fighting against the invaders.
Okay.
Yeah. One of
Sure. Sounds
one of
shit.
those. Well, we're up. Okay.
I hate war movies. It's all
Ah,
fucking the same thing and all glorifies these fucking war heroes.
you'll be fine, mate.
You'll be fine, mate. He
You'll be
says every
fine.
time.
Yeah. Zack Snyder has hit out against people saying, I don't know why they're upset about Rebel Moon. He's so confused why his movies are so polarizing. You either love them
Really?
or hate them. Yeah.
No one loved it.
Well, I found
I've
it.
heard no one say, "Oh, it's fucking awesome."
I have. Because,
Really?
yeah, just like, standing at sport and having the old dad chat around the sidelines, and they're like, "Oh, have you seen this Rebel Moon thing? It's pretty good." I was like, "Oh, it wasn't great." Like, oh, what do you
Wow.
mean? Yeah,
Yeah,
for
some
the
people are impressed with pretty lights and fucking special effects, though.
yeah.
Like some
That's what.
people are fucking dumb,
Well,
if I'm honest.
well, don't hold back, mate. You're
No, I
you-
refuse.
you're grouchy in the mornings.
No, I
Uh,
just like I hate people. I say hate a lot. People have an opinion on movies who like everything. If you like every single movie, then you're an easy crowd and you don't really like. I don't know. Okay, I'm being a grump.
you are
Fuck it.
so being a grump.
Yeah, I'm tired, man. Fuck.
All right, well, let's get into our first one, which is Ricky Stanicky, which was your pick on this one. You were pretty
Sure
keen.
was.
So this is a comedy now out on Amazon Prime, starring Zac Efron, John Cena, and Andrew Sinato. That's how you say his name. Could be wrong.
Santino.
Santino. Told you I back myself. But when
Yep.
three childhood best friends pull a prank that goes wrong, they invent the imaginary Ricky and Nicky to get them out of trouble. 20 years later, they use the non existent Ricky as a handy alibi for their immature behavior. Bom, bom, bom.
Yep.
Yeah, which sounds way more complicated than this movie actually was. Like, it
Yeah, it's not
was
complex.
no. It's three friends, been friends from childhood. They try to pull a prank on Halloween where they get the dog poo and they light it on fire. No one's
Yep.
home. They
Classic.
light it up, and unfortunately, the house catches on fire. And that's
Hmm.
when they develop this imaginary person called Ricky Stanicky, which they write on jocks. And then that is
Yep.
anytime they need to get out of things, Ricky Stanicky is the man that they use to get out of, or even to go
Yep.
on trips, which these three have
Yeah.
stayed together for the entire time, which the whole premise of that, rather than just being like, hey, we want to go to, I don't know, like a basketball game or a golf trip. Instead, they're like, oh, Ricky's doing something or
Cancer's
other.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, why? I'm so confused why they didn't just be like, I want to go on a golf trip. Done.
Yeah.
But then you
Because
don't,
movie.
then don't have a movie.
Yeah.
Like, like for me, that was just bizarre. Like I couldn't fathom why they would do it. But
They
with
tried to
that,
explain it with like, there's just no way we would have got out of this. It's my baby shower. Like they they explain it away with we would never be able to get out of what we wanted to get out of if it wasn't for Ricky Sneaky. So, but it's all they also sort of are very well. The movie's very self aware that these guys are pretty horrible people,
yeah,
in that they're been lying, perpetuating this lie for years and years and years to get out of like responsibilities as a parent.
It's yeah, it was a bit bizarre. So you have
Hmm.
you have it you have really two main characters because the third friend's more of like your pop in comic relief character. 'Cause I
Yeah,
for
he didn't do a whole lot.
no, he was just there for like a couple of jokes. So
Hmm.
Zac Efron, Dean, and JT were your two main ones. JT was having a baby. Uh, Dean
Yeah,
was
Santino.
yeah, and Dean, his wife was a journalist trying to go up the ranks in the journalism. And then you've got the other friend. Can't remember his character name.
No, just
I
stoner
mean,
friend.
they forgot his name too. Like they made a joke about when Ricky Stanicky does an interview where he's like, these two, Dean and JT, and then Walter, someone.
Hmm.
Yeah. But
His name's Wes.
Wes, could be Wes. No, I'm thinking Walter. Who knows? But these three friends are trying to get out of a baby shower to go to Vegas or somewhere the likes. They leave, they meet Ricky Stanicky, who, well, not Ricky, they meet Rob Rhymstead, who
Rock
is
Hard Rod.
who is doing parody songs which all relate back to masturbation or sex or
Yeah,
wherever it goes.
yeah, yeah,
And it is John Cena. I've never seen John Cena talk so much in a film. Like he is talking non-stop throughout this
yeah,
film. So
yeah.
like
But he's the
it's
standout.
yeah,
He's every scene with him is the best scene in the movie, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. So as soon as they meet him, all hell breaks loose. They meet him, they don't want anything of him. Then they get back and they're like, miss the baby's being born. And then they
Hmm.
have to bring Ricky Stanicky, and then all hell breaks loose as people unravel the lie. Like everything
Yeah,
is very, very predictable. They try and go for
100%.
they try and go for some shock humor. I think the main joke that I generally laughed at was John Cena singing songs and also the boss with his point hands where he was doing
Oh
the
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You've got what is that? You got dick hands, dick handling hands or something like that. So everything he does is like
Yeah.
talking like this.
That was pretty much the only two like big laughs that I had. The rest of it I smirked at John Cena's character, and then the rest of it
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay, this is
I
this
was
is pretty
laughing pretty
average."
hard.
Yeah.
I found all the scenes where he's like acting as Ricky Stanicky and he's interacting with people and he's talking to the boss and whatever. I found really funny. Like John Cena, he's such a likable person that his characters come across that way as well. And he's funny as hell. Like I found this very, very funny. Um,
Okay.
but that being said, until it wasn't, like it got to a point where sort of from the moment that Ricky Stanicky got hired as part of the staff, um, because I mean to sort of get to that in the story, they hire him for a day to play Ricky Stanicky, and then he gets so obsessed with the role that he changes his name to Ricky Stanicky. He gets hired by their boss because he has brass balls, whatever he said. He gets hired for some job that he has no qualification for. Um, from then on, it loses a little bit of steam because it's the jokes that the value of seeing Ricky Snicky in full force against people and perpetuating the lie and being so believable, it loses steam because it's just the same thing over and over again. So toward like the last half an hour, the last 40 minutes, I was kind of like, okay, this is losing a bit of it, but I still had a pretty decent time. I'm not sure. Maybe I was in a really good mood with it, but I actually didn't hate it. I had a lot of fun, but it's just all John Cena. Zac Efron is the definition of needs a good director.
Yeah.
He was amazing in The Iron Claw, and he is horrible in this.
I mean, he his character was meant to kind of be a bit of a wet blanket though. Like he wasn't meant to be the standout. Like he
Was he
was
meant
meant
to
to.
was he meant to feel like an actor reading his lines? Because that's how he came across.
I mean, all of them kind of did, besides John Cena.
Besides John Cena, I don't think Santino did. I think he did a pretty decent job.
Yeah, but
Ginger guy.
yeah, he just felt like it was just him doing his normal like randomness. Like, have you ever
Oh
seen
yeah,
his like podcast?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there
Of
was
course I have.
no difference between him and his character. It was just
No, but he's
him.
charismatic. Zac
Yeah.
Efron wasn't.
Um, I thought Zac Efron's character was meant to be like the down to earth one of the group, the one that's meant to have the conscience that was like, this has gone too far.
Yeah, but you've got to have you've got to be convincing, I guess. Like yes, he felt like that to a degree, but he also just didn't have he didn't act much, I guess. Like I know Santino didn't really either. He's playing himself, but Zac Efron's character didn't portray anything. He was such a blank slate. He had no real character to him.
I thought that was
And
the
I think
whole
that
point of it though. Like, these guys were just meant
yeah.
to be three mates that just use it to get out of things.
Yeah,
Like,
but the guy whose name we forget has more character, personality, backstory. You know, he's gay, he's a stoner, he has problems with his partner. He has this whole perpetuated lie around he used to date Ricky Stanicky. And then Zac Efron's character, what's his background? What's his story? What's his character defining traits? Nothing.
well, his was the whole his relationship with his partner. Oh,
Bless you.
thanks. That that was his whole thing. Like, he was just that
So his
was the
entire personality was who he's dating.
yep. Because it
Yes, you see
was
my problem.
yeah, yeah. Look, the movie wasn't in there for some deep character development. It was in there for
No.
John Cena to come in, have some laughs, a very
Yes,
light-hearted film. You watch it, you
very.
have a good time, and then you leave. You don't think about it afterwards. So like
I
it
thought about
was
it afterwards. I
yeah,
I had fun with it.
yeah,
I
right.
don't think about it afterwards in an artistic, creative sense, but there's a few moments I've thought about since that made me laugh.
Yeah, right.
The
I'm just
whole the whole dinner party scene, or whatever the scene is, where he's at the mitzvah. The mitzvah is at the what do they call it? The circumcision party. That whole scene is fucking hilarious. Like really, really good. And John Cena carries the whole movie.
yeah,
But that scene in particular, like I'd rewatch that scene alone. Also, that like this kind of movie where I could tell a friend or my wife and be like, "Hey, this movie is average, but here's the basic premise to watch this one scene," and you would have fun with that one scene. Like, but the rest of it's pretty average.
yeah, yeah.
And
Uh,
the ending.
mm.
Do you want to say something before we get to the ending?
I was just looking at the trailer, not the trailer, the movie poster, and it's like Zac Efron, John Cena, and then the other characters are on the poster but don't get
Yep.
names on it.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Like I wouldn't even consider Wes the main character.
No.
Is But he has more character than Zac Efron is a problem. Uh, yeah. So the end, because we all knew it was going to go this way. How everyone finds the lie starts to unravel, and in order for Zac Efron's wife to not ruin her career, because she's doing this hero piece on him because he has all these fucking the lie has been that he's been working in Africa and doing world peace stuff and whatever, whatever, whatever. So, in order to save her career, they have to reveal the truth. They tell everyone the truth. Everyone hates them for it. The wives are mad, whatever. But then they end up doing the hero piece on this actor who becomes Ricky Stanicky, and therefore he's a hero. And it's so nonsense. And everyone just changes their opinion of Ricky Stanicky and the lie. And I'm guessing now, forever, there's this actor playing Ricky Stanicky, and because things seem to just go to a level of because after that there's the whole the denouement where they're fucking showing photos of them out and about doing stuff, and he's now Ricky Stanicky is now like the person they made him to be. He's an activist and he's cleaning up the world and he's this, that, whatever. So this actor has fully embraced this character role almost to a point where he's changed his entire personality to be this new person. And everyone's just, yep, this is normal. Like it's absolute nonsense. The ending is the dumbest shit ever. And it's so like makes no sense. None of the characters getting on board makes any sense. And yet they expect you to be like, oh, this is a happy ending.
And they're like, yep, we've got a deal. Well done. You gave someone
Hmm.
a second chance. What?
Yep. Yeah.
And then even the
Uh-huh.
even the wives and partners are like, yep, no worries. You're fine. You didn't lie.
Yeah.
You're sleeping outside. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
One guy, Santino's kicked outside for 6 months, and Zac Efron's wife is not happy with him. But
until she gets a voice recording that Ricky
yeah,
Stanicky recorded.
of saying that he loves her. Like, that's all it took. Yeah,
Uh,
it's a lot of it makes no sense. But they also like, how do you make a happy ending out of this? Like, unless the only other alternative was they revealed the truth. Ricky Stanicky goes back to Rock Hard Rod, who maybe has some level of fame now because he does such a good job as Ricky Stanicky. Or he has newfound confidence and he becomes someone new, different or whatever. But like they just tried to make up this whole new ending that really is so unbelievable it makes zero sense. And any character getting on board that makes zero sense. But it's
it
what
was,
they went with. So
it was bizarre.
yeah.
But like, I didn't have a bad time.
No, God no. I liked it a lot more than anything else this week. I'll be honest from the beginning.
Yeah, right. What would you
It's
give it then?
it's like a 3.5 for me.
Okay, okay.
I think I was in a generous mood. Like I laughed pretty hard at a lot of it.
All right.
Um, but talking about it, rewatching it, I'm probably gonna like it way less. We'll see. 3.5
Yeah,
for now.
yeah. It's a three for me. Like,
Uh-huh.
I had a good time. I sat there, I enjoyed it, but like it wasn't anything overly exciting. It was like I
No,
laughed at John Cena and I smirked at a few other
literally.
things, and the rest of it was like, oh, okay, cool. Let's move on.
Mm, yeah, it's
Like I often
there's
say,
definitely worse things, but
one of those straight to was it the movie?
streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. This is not the kind of movie that you would feel justified paying the ticket price for.
Oh God, no. If I paid this for the movies, I'd be a bit annoyed.
For sure.
But yeah. Yeah. Well, and then let's get on to Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yeah, yeah.
Kung Fu Panda 4 flying into the cinemas near you. This is the fourth one in the franchise. I'm really surprised that they've gone for another one, but successful IPs, they
Like I've said in
keep pumping out.
sorry. Yeah, like I said in previous weeks, I didn't know there was even a three,
Oh,
let alone a
really?
four. So
Yeah, right.
I've only seen the first one, and I saw it once back when it was released in
Okay.
like whatever the fuck year it was.
Yeah.
So
Look,
I haven't.
I like them. I like them. I've seen one a few times. I've seen two a couple of times, and threes I've seen the least. And then I also watched the TV series that they did as well. They did like
Okay,
a TV series. Like
didn't know there was a series.
they're fun. Fun. Obviously, Poe is his bumbling, likable Jack Black self. It's pretty much Jack Black as a panda.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
I really like him. But,
Hmm.
normally they have that sort of Shrek sort of feeling to them. Like they have the adult humor in there that goes over the kids' heads. They don't really understand, but it's normally enjoyable for the parents and also for the kids. This one, unfortunately, doesn't have that. It's just Kung Fu
No.
Panda for kids, and that's
Yep.
disappointing. But this is after Poe is trapped to become the spiritual leader of the Valley of the Peace, he needs to find and train a new dragon warrior, while a wicked sorceress plans to re-summon all the master's villains whom Poe has vanquished to the spirit realm. So they
Yeah.
tried for the nostalgia as well. They tried to bring back
Yes.
everybody that had ever appeared in any of the previous films. And then obviously they've tried to find a spiritual successor to Poe. So whether to carry on the torch or to, keep the franchise alive, I don't I don't know. I don't know why they did it. It just felt like a little bit of a let's see if we can push this to sell some merchandise and to further our IP, which is
Yep.
disappointing. Disappointing.
It's a cash grab.
Mm. It runs for about an hour and 25-ish if you're taking away the credits, which isn't too bad. Like it runs your very stereotypical Poe's living his life, bumbling around, being the kung fu warrior. He needs to find a spiritual successor, doesn't want to give it up,
Hmm.
and then by chance meets this fox. And then the fox takes him on this adventure because there's a new big villain who is the chameleon, who is able to change shape and could be anywhere, which was never really like, didn't really seem that threatening. All of a sudden, she somehow,
No, for a power that's like invincible, unstoppable. She was really shit.
yeah, was like, oh my God, she could be anyone at any time. But I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
No, there's so much
this
opportunity
intimidating.
there for some really cool like espionage and unsure who to trust, like the thing. There's so much opportunity there, I think, for some really cool shit.
Yeah,
And did nothing with it, nothing.
no. And then the chameleon wants the staff of I can't even remember what the staff was called. That's how unimportant it was. But the staff
Ways
was
stuff.
Yeah, the staff was the catalyst to be able to open the spiritual realm, and then Kung Fu isn't about the body, it's about the spirit. So then they're able to take the spirit, and then all of a sudden they have all these powers. And even the climactic fight, normally the fights are pretty good where they realize something, but this was just here's the staff, you're overcome it. Cool.
Yep.
Here's your new successor. And every single twist and turn was so generic. It was like
Yes.
the most predictable storyline you've ever seen. And there's massive, massive lineup with people and voice actors. Like I thought the voice acting was quite good.
Yeah. Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, look, probably some credit to it. I'm probably being too dirty on it. But yeah, some
Yeah.
of the voice acting wasn't horrible. Bryan
Yeah.
Cranston. I love Bryan Cranston, anything he does.
Yeah. Obviously you got Jack Black. You got Aquafenwa.
Aquafenwa,
Uh
soccer player.
yeah.
Aquafina.
Aquafina. That was close.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman, Bryan Cranston, Mr. Beast is even in it.
Viola Davis. She's
Yeah.
been in a lot of stuff. She was the chameleon. I think she did a pretty decent job.
Yeah. Seth Rogen.
Awkwafina, awkward Fina, as always, is awkward as shit. Uh, can't stand her in everything she does.
Yeah.
Ke Huy Quan from Everything Everywhere All at Once
Hmm.
and other things. He was great. It's always great.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast didn't realize it was in it.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Mm,
was the pig, I believe. The panda pig.
yeah, I don't know who that was.
Yeah, it was a short one. But like this was just so disappointing. Like the other two were pretty solid. So one and two were actually quite solid. Three was
Sure.
okay. And then I was like, yep, that's a nice way to end it. But no, no, they decided to go with number four. And number four just
Yeah.
felt like there was no like excitement. It was just so underwhelming. Like I
Yeah.
sat there and was like, oh yeah, that's cool. No,
Yeah.
just oh,
I think previous like I haven't seen any since one. And what made one really cool was like it was an origin story. It was an underdog story. It was like, don't judge me by my cover sort of shit. And you got behind the character because you saw him grow from zero to hero. Whereas at this point, like the first action scene is him kicking ass. And he's already like he's the Dragon Warrior. He's already fucking incredible at this point.
mhm,
And like when there's no stakes like that, like in the end fight, it wasn't even him. The fox, fucking whatever her name is. What's the fucking name? I don't care enough. Zen. The Zen fox. was fucking ended up doing the boss at the end
But
because they needed to make her the
the Zen
next
Fox was
successor.
already powerful. Like she was already like a
Yeah,
master thief. And I was like, oh, she doesn't really
yeah.
have much of a grow up or like training montage or anything. It's just
No,
like, here's the
nothing.
staff. Oh my God. All of a sudden,
Yeah, it wasn't earned.
no. Look,
Like having the chosen one.
there was a few giggles at like Poe's attempt at wisdom, like the lines. But also, I don't know what it is with kids' films at the moment, and anytime there's like a crime syndicate or like of animals, it's always the bunnies that are like the most sadistic ones. They're like
Mm,
every single time, like I was like, oh, here we go, here comes the sadistic bunnies, just
yeah,
because they're little
it's
cute.
happy tree friends curse. It's that
Yeah,
like if things are cute, but they're also really violent. Oh, look at that. The juxtaposition is hilarious.
yeah,
I'm so over it. You're so right. Because it's same with the Super Mario movie where there's that little star spirit sprite thing in a cage and it's like wishing for death.
yeah,
You know, it's not like oh haha haha. The exterior doesn't at all suit what it's saying.
yeah,
That's funny once.
yeah, yeah. They just need to leave that alone and then bring it back later. They just need to come up with something different for a while. And then,
But this wasn't meant to be anything different.
mm,
This was an easy cash grab.
yep,
Like at this point, it's the fourth movie in a franchise that always has done pretty well. Every movie has at least tripled its profits, even Kung Fu Panda 3.
yep.
Um,
I did
look at the
see
numbers now.
EB Games currently has the full set, so you can get a thermos, you can get a dumpling plate, you can get all sorts. Like
Yeah,
it's all fine on the shelves. So, and I'm sure it will sell pretty well.
yeah, insane.
Yeah,
Merchandising for this sort of stuff is so easy.
yeah. So look, it ran very stereotypical storyline. There was nothing overly exciting about it.
Well,
It was just underwhelming.
I know. I don't even talk about with it either because nothing fucking happened.
No.
I kind of like the chameleon. I thought like there's a scene where you first meet her where there's a bunch of bad guys sitting around a table and they're all like, fuck the fucking chameleon, she's ruining our lives. We need to fucking put an end to her. And one of them was like, she could be any of us. It could even be me. And then she changes into that was cool. That was a cool little reveal.
Mhm.
That could have been done in multiple places. And I wouldn't have been mad about repetition because that's her character. Like her character needs to be more sneaky, manipulative, and like I think of D&D doppelgangers and like how much fun you can have with them as a DM because you can like you can lie to people and trick them into telling you things and getting all the secrets and stuff without too much work because you look like their friends and family.
Mhm.
And I really wanted her to do way more of that. It's just a cool fucking character. And just we already said it underutilized.
Look, kids are
Yeah,
gonna enjoy it. It's unfortunately missed the mark where it appeals to the parents and the kids, but the kids are gonna sit there. They're probably gonna have a good time with it.
do you watch with your family? No, you watched it this morning.
No, I watched it this morning, but look,
Yeah.
I'll watch with the kids, and the kids will like it. They
Yeah,
love
I want to hear if they like it because
they
I
love
don't
the
know.
other three.
Okay,
And look, I will already put a prediction that they will enjoy it. Like it's targeted to kids, and the
very much so.
kids will enjoy it. There's no doubt in my mind that
Nice.
this won't be successful. It's just one of those films where you sit there going, "Is this going to be over?" It's like taking your kids
Yeah, I was on
to
my phone pretty quick.
like a Paw Patrol film where you like kids like it,
Yeah,
but it's like, ah, this is horrible.
this is just dragging my nuts through glass.
Yeah, but like if you're a kid, I reckon it'll be like a three or a four. If for a parent, it's like a one and a half. It's just there's nothing exciting about it.
Yeah, it's inoffensive and follows the exact plot you thought it would.
Mm,
Um, yeah, and as always, like just because it's made for kids doesn't excuse it from being a bad movie. Like it's a bad movie. It's
mm,
boring as hell.
yeah,
Boring as actually I shouldn't say it's bad. It's boring. It's and a boring movie is worse than bad because it's not it's not even so bad that it's funny. It's just like you're waiting for it to end.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm at. Like one and a half. Yeah. I
Yeah.
originally said a two, but that's probably giving too much credit.
Okay. Well, let's move on to another film that you're very excited about, and
Oh my
it
God.
it definitely wasn't boring.
No, it was aggravating.
So this is Netflix's newest one, which has Millie Bobber Brown in the
Bobby Brown.
Damsel. Nope, nope,
No, you
nope,
shortened her name.
nope,
My bad.
nope. A ditful damsel agrees to marry a handsome prince, only to find the royal family has recruited her as a sacrifice to pay for an ancient debt. So
You say a
Millie,
ditful,
yep,
a ditful damsel. What do you mean? What's a ditful?
I don't know.
Just read. See, oh, let me see what you said.
She's
Dutiful.
oh, whatever, same, same.
That is a weird word.
Mm. But Millie, who is our what was her name? El, I don't know, can't remember.
Elodie.
Elodie.
Yep.
Elodie is our princess. She all of a sudden is has a arranged marriage and is like, we need money, so we are going to marry you off to this very rich kingdom. And then as the ceremony, it's all looking nice. It's all looking pretty for her. It's a prince that seems really nice and into her. Everyone looks real happy. The families are together. And then after the ceremony, they go up to complete the ritual. She gets thrown down a well, and we find out there's a dragon. And then the entire film is pretty much CGI, like
Yep.
the entire thing. There's many different confusing things. Like the entire plot of the film is very confusing when you realize it doesn't have to be royalty. I'm like, why have they gone through the entire hoax of this wedding to sacrifice a princess when it doesn't need to be?
They need to mix blood because the dragon can smell the
Yes.
royal blood. So they need to do the whole hand cutting, touching hands
Yeah,
thing.
but why go through this entire facade of this wedding when they can just grab
Because
a
that's how they trickle into cutting their hands and like you can't just tell two people to cut their hands and hold hands.
you could get
But
a prisoner, cut your hand and their
yes.
hand, mix blood,
Yes, you fucking could.
and then
Yes,
it's
you fucking could.
you don't have to go through this entire facade.
Yeah, but they've got to save face and they've got to pretend. I know how much fucking money they spending on weddings when they got to do it. How many times?
It was like what, three times?
That's I don't understand because they said it was they need to do it three times to, but there was something like 13 girls down there or something. Like they kept mentioning there was 12 or 13 bodies down there and stuff. So I don't
Yeah,
understand how many they've done and how many people the dragon have killed.
I thought it was three because they
I thought it
killed
was three too.
I thought it was like three a year.
But there's a scene, oh, three per year.
Yeah, I thought it was three
Oh,
per
okay.
year because they
Right.
the dragon had three babies. They killed the babies and it was like you need to pay. So I assume this was like a yearly. Surely, like the rest of the kingdoms, after all these weddings, like how many times can you marry your son
Yeah.
off? Wouldn't they be like,
How many
oh,
times can people, yeah, can people go missing and after they've been quote unquote married to this certain family and they're like, oh, it's another girl's gone missing. We're so unlucky. Like, what the? Surely someone's raised some flags by now.
I was also like, I was so confused. Why are they doing this? Why can't they just go, here's a prisoner, here's my hand, here's the mixed blood, away you
Mm,
go. And why did it have to be? Why did it have to be a princess every time?
because movie.
So confusing. Also, that was a massive fall when she just gets like thrown down.
Oh, I know.
And
And then
just
she
like,
climbs down the same height later with a rope that you can see. What they're telling us there is that the bridge that she crossed is the same length as the fall that she fell. But she fell for a fucking long time, screamed the whole way down. I
yeah.
actually laughed really hard at that screaming.
There is a scene where people are like, did they rip off Game of Thrones here? Where she's walking. So after she's had this big confrontation with the dragon, and she's like hurt this
On.
dragon,
Mm.
and like all of a sudden they become friends because they're like, "Oh, you've stabbed me in the eye, you've stabbed me in the leg. I'm really
You
hurt."
burnt me.
And then you'd be like, "Oh, we were both tricks, and now we're best friends."
Yep.
Yep. So they have this blue magical slug that heals wounds. So I'm assuming she used the slug on the dragon to repair the wounds.
But again, we're told
Just
nothing
because I
because
just
movie.
assume. And then after she gets out, she's like walking, and then there's this like low angle shot that comes up. She's on the bridge.
No.
Like, how slow can this dragon hover in the air? Like,
Yeah.
this dragon was there for a very long time while she was
Yeah.
walking, and I was like, oh, that's the same people like Daenerys with the dragons. So like they
Yes.
rip off Game of Thrones.
It was all for that shot.
Yeah.
Made me cringe so hard.
And then I don't even care about ruining this because it's not
No,
worth
fuck
your
this
time.
movie.
Like the dragon comes in, gets its revenge on the people, but burns the other royal family. But like her crown melts before her face. Like
100, I thought the exact same thing.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure gold has a higher like melting point than human
Then
flesh.
skin. Yeah, 100%. I thought the exact same thing. But again, they just, oh, it looks cool. So much of this was fuck realism. It looks cool.
Yeah. Look, I don't even
So
understand.
much.
I don't understand how this got like the green light. Like,
It's fucking awful. Like there's movies that are so bad they're good, and there's movies that are so bad they're horrible. This is so cringy and shit. I fucking hate Millie Bobby Brown. I can't stand her in literally anything. She's okay in early Stranger Things, but she got this head around acting where she's like greater than God. And
oh,
watching her in interviews and stuff makes me so fucking angry.
yeah,
She's
right.
just a fucking little shit of a kid. I can't stand her as a person. And in this, the whole time she's going for a fucking Oscar. Every scene, she's just overacting and playing it up, and like it's really, really awful.
Right. Did did you also think like she found that map that was carved into the stone, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Why? Like, if you know the way out and you got out, why have you come
He
back and
came
draw the
back and did
map?
a map. I thought the exact same
It
fucking thing.
was
How is there a map of the way out if someone who got out came back and did the
it
map?
was like,
That's
yeah,
the only
no,
way it's possible.
just like no worries. I'm just gonna camp in here and do this for other people. I'm so
I know.
confused.
It's literally, yeah, I thought the exact same thing. Well, how is there a map of an exit?
Yeah,
Because why
but
would you come the fuck back? Unless you're Millie Bobby Brown who comes back because she has to fucking, well, she has comes back to save her sister. That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
There's
she didn't do the map.
no. And she needed to relook at it to figure out. I don't know. No, it's fucking
Also,
stupid.
how much fabric are in her dresses? Because like she ripped her dress numerous times to wrap her hands, feet, and make whatever out of that dress. And I was like, surely there's no more dress left.
I don't know. That was okay with because there's a lot of layers to those old dresses. You see her getting dressed before the wedding, and there's lots of layers and different clothing items, and that I didn't necessarily get upset with.
Right.
I can see where you're coming from. It just felt endless. It's like
Yeah.
fucking Legolas's arrows.
What the one thing that I was actually kind of impressed with was her climbing with the crown. Like with the I was like, oh, I just assumed you would like bare hands at Rambo out of the pit, but
Sure, yeah.
for some reason they decided to do a little bit of a change up, and I was like, oh, that's I didn't think
Slightly
you'd
different.
show that. Yeah.
When she falls and then she catches herself with the crown, even though she's fucking probably at terminal velocity, the height she's fallen, reaches out and grabs one of the stems with her crown and she holds on. Like, no, you fucking don't.
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
The speaking of things are impressive, I have to admit, I thought the dragon was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I loved her voice. That's the woman. Do you remember in Assassin's Creed Mirage? Your like mentor
Hmm.
woman who like teaches you the blade and stuff.
Yep.
Her voice.
Okay.
She's the voice of the dragon. Uh, fucking awesome. I loved not to get big into this, but like anatomically correct dragons don't breathe fire. They shoot a flammable liquid that they ignite in their throat, and then it shoots as a liquid. And like at close distances, the liquid doesn't burn fast enough, so you can actually see in this someone's actually shooting lava, and
Huh?
like the fire is landing and sort of spreading rather than just being like a breath. So I found the fire really cool. I thought the dragon looked sick. The voice acting was really cool for the dragon. Um, there was a bit of inconsistency with the size of the dragon. Sometimes it was so big that it wouldn't fit down like a corridor, but other times it was like zooming in between rocks and stalagmites and stalactites and stuff. And I'm like, how the fuck do you have so much? No, what's the word? How you say nimble amongst all this shit when you couldn't do the other shit earlier?
Trained.
Train. There's a dragon training montage.
I wish there
One thing
was.
I did really get pissed off at was inconsistency of language. Like if you're gonna do something where you're almost telling us that it's set in Victorian England, like it's not set, it's obviously set in fantasy world, but like the language and the clothing and the technology and everything was very like medieval Victorian whatever. Some characters are speaking. I wrote some things down. I saw something high atop the castle, or one must remember one's position, and things like that. But then another character says, "I love your castle. I like really love it." That's such a like a modern to add like into a sentence. I like really like it versus one must remember one's duty.
Hmm.
It's like fucking pick a lane. Like you're either gonna make this really modern, and the language you're gonna use is modern because it's approachable. Sure, I'm okay with that. Who knows? It's a fantasy world, but don't make all the other characters talk like they're fucking high court Englishmen from medieval period, and then make some characters heaps modern in their speech. That shit, sort of shit fucks me off.
Yep. Bizarre. The whole thing was bizarre. I don't understand why it was made. They were
No,
just like, here you go. Pretty sure it was like number one on Netflix though. Like I'm sure people have watched it.
no one's liking it.
No, but I'm sure
Like
they were
it's
like it's successful.
yeah, I'm sure it's made money. I mean, I'm sure
Mm.
it's done enough for them to be like, yeah, pat in the back, everybody. But no one gave a shit. Like the fact that a lot of these performances got to the editing floor just shows that the director doesn't give a shit. Like
Yep.
so many times that the director should have reshot, just didn't because no one cared.
Yep.
I got so fucking sick of listening to Millie Bobby Brown screaming. So much of this movie is her screaming in pain, screaming from falling, screaming from getting burnt, screaming in anger, screaming in sorrow.
Yeah.
Got sick of hearing her fucking screaming. Got angry towards the end.
What would you give it then? This is a disaster.
Uh, I'm still reading my notes here, man.
Yeah, right. You got more.
uh, One of the things I wrote was that this movie with different music is a comedy. Like if
Huh?
you add like fucking goofy slapstick music in the background and cut her screaming down a little bit, it'll be half the length and it would be way funnier and way more enjoyable.
Yeah, interesting.
And the prince looks middle-aged. I don't understand how fucking old he was. Trying to look up the actor's age, but my internet stopped interneting. Doesn't tell me his age. Why not? He looked. I thought he was fucking in his 30s at first.
Yeah, well, they got a
I
prince,
guess
so
not.
they can sell him off to whoever they
We
want.
got Prince. Yeah, look, it was bad. Oh, I really didn't like it. The dragon was cool as fuck. The rest
Yep.
was aggravating and made me really mad. I'm gonna give it 1.5,
No,
and literally one whole star goes to the dragon,
okay.
and half a star goes to the movie.
Okay. That's probably fair. Look, I laughed at a few points. It was just awful. The whole thing was awful. But
Very.
I don't think it deserves a two. I think I'm
Nah.
with you with that like 1.5. But yeah, I think we're around there.
But I think I
Just
enjoyed it more than Kung Fu Panda.
no, I didn't. I like Kung Fu Panda more.
This got more of an emotional reaction out of me. Kung Fu Panda was just an hour and a half of blank face. This got me angry at times. I laughed at times.
Okay,
Like this actually got an emotion out of me.
fair.
Worth something, right?
Yeah, I mean, but You get mad at the slight breeze, let alone.
I get mad at bad fucking movies.
Oh, well.
Boring movies are one thing I roll my eyes at, but badly made movies with people that don't give a shit and actors that think they're going for an Oscar in a fucking teen bop bullshit movie like this. Fucking
Yeah.
hate her.
Well,
Watching her get hurt was the best thing ever.
well, next week we got potentially two good things and one bad thing. So we're excited.
Uh, yeah, we'll see.
I'm
Potentially
excited to
two
see
bad
that.
things, one good thing.
Yeah. Well, next week we've got The Boy and the Heron. Finally,
We're
finally,
doing it.
Allison's going to get there. And then we've
Yep.
got The Gentleman, which is newest Netflix series, which is absolutely popping off. And then we have Irish Wish, which is, I was going to say Jennifer Lopez, but it's not. It is Lindsay
No,
Lohan's newest film,
sure is.
which looks identical to her last one. I can't even remember what her last one was. It was like
Oh,
she lost her memory or something, and then
yeah. Oh, I need to
uh,
look it up now.
it was like some other rom-com. This one looks like another rom. This is another rom-com. She's back with a vengeance. So the other one was
Falling for Christmas.
that's it. It was that Christmas
Yeah.
special one where she lost her memory and then she
That
fell
was
in
a
love.
special kind of awful.
Do you think this one's
I'm
gonna be
hoping this
better?
is too. No, I want this to be horrible. That's, I mean, even the movies of Lindsay Lohan's that I do like, I like because they're so horrible. Like, what's the Lucky one?
What?
The Luck one where she, Just My Luck. You
Yeah.
seen that?
I just remember Mean Girls and then Herbie, the car. Herbie?
Heavy Fully Loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, yep.
That's what I remember mainly in.
That's
And
fair. Freaky
yeah.
Friday,
Yeah.
Parent Trap, Get a Clue.
No.
No? Okay. That's the peak Lindsay Lohan that I like. Freaky Friday is
Okay.
a great movie. I've referenced that a couple of times. That's a fucking great movie.
Yeah. But yeah.
And yeah, now she's just making trash, and I want her to make trash so I can laugh at her trash.
Yeah. Oh well. She's a big no. But you know,
Yep.
that's all we got for you. So if you're listening on Spotify, make sure you hit that 5-star rating. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends.
Tell your
We'll
friends.
see you guys next time.
Love
Boys.
yous.